Good morning. Are you a person that finds it hard to keep your house clean, to do household chores? The reason I'm asking is because that has always been me. I've always had a hard time doing chores and keeping my house clean. And when the kids were little and just taking care of the little human beings, it was even harder to do my household chores. And it felt very, very defeating, and it was depressing. This is Vashti, and this is a mom talk. And I'm going to tell you something that I think might make you feel a little bit better, or at least give you some hope. If you are a sufferer of childhood trauma, especially childhood, not necessarily just childhood, but especially childhood trauma, there's two ways that we deal with trauma as children. One is we become an overachiever, overperformer, hoping to make it all better, hoping to make people like us, trying to get control. Because when you're a child and there's a lot of trauma or chaos going on, you feel out of control. And so one of the ways of dealing with that is becoming hyper controlling, being a hyper overachiever, and being hypersensitive about people liking you and wanting to be with you, trying to be validated or be an important part of the system. The other way people deal with childhood trauma is disassociating. And disassociating is just going very, very, very inward and living in your own inner world. And through imagination, through, ruminating, overthinking, addictions, anyway, definitely for me, the second one. The people that are overachievers and hyper controlling, that response, those people tend to have an extra clean house. And they go massively, it sends their nervous system into an outrage if their life is out of control. And of course, the reality of it is we can't control our lives. And so that is something that the overly controlling, overly performing person has to overcome to be able to have healthy relationships and live peacefully in the world as it is, which the world as it is out of control. We can't control people, we can't control circumstances, we can control our choices, and sometimes we can't even do that. Our neurons haven't got to that point yet, and we're still in reaction mode. But when you're disassociating, the thing about disassociating is it's hard to do anything that brings you into the here and now, and nothing brings you into the here and now quicker than cleaning your space. And I know that from experience, and I remember I struggled with mental health issues and depression, anxiety, fear, all of it, inadequacy, all of it. And when I had to come outside of my imaginary world, or how I was imagining things should be or would be, or, hiding behind my bitterness and rage, when I had to kind of come to the surface and deal on the horizontal, it triggered me. Everything was a trigger. Touching my physical space, seeing the sock on the floor, seeing the pile of laundry, looking at the dog hair, it was all a trigger. And it would trigger my rage, it would trigger my bitterness, it would trigger all my feelings of inadequacy and failure. It would trigger all of those things. And so of course you don't want to do that. Of course you don't want to be in that space. But also, I don't know about you, but I don't want to live in filth and disgust. So it is a catch-22. And the only thing I could say about that is, honestly, for both, well, I can't really speak so much to being the overly controlling person, because that's never been me. But both ways do require that you do inner healing. And when I say that, that's probably a trigger. Inner healing. I mean, what does that even mean? And everybody says that, just heal. Okay. You know, it's annoying because it's so vague. And also, we know that just healing doesn't just happen like that. It's a long, laborious journey. Healing is. But what I have found is that there are a couple of things that helped me clean in my here and now. And I had to do it in little spurts, because I would clean enraged. I would clean bitter. I would be yelling at the family and the kids. Nobody enjoyed it. People would just rather live in disgust and filth than have me rage cleaning all the time. But I had to practice and listen when I tell you this, you're going to be pissed. But it works. Neurologically, it works. Scientifically, it works. You have to, when I started being grateful for the thing that I was doing, thank you for this sock, thank you for these dirty dishes, thank you that I have hands to clean a dirty dish. That actually is the thing that helped my rage and bitterness. Gratitude. And also thinking good thoughts of the people that I was doing it for. So connecting the item to the person. And people that have lived through traumatic childhoods, they tend to connect more to experiences and things than they do people. People are hard to connect to, and I was the same way. I connected more to experiences and maybe an item or two. I was more emotionally connected to those things than people around me. But when you, one, show gratitude, and then two, think nice thoughts about the people that you're doing it for, not, he doesn't deserve this, but I actually really love this person. This person has done a lot for me. I'm happy to help him out or her out, depending upon who you're thinking about, your husband or your spouse or your kids or whoever. It will change your brain chemistry, and it will make coming back to the here and now not as traumatizing and painful. And it will also heal you in the same time. Those are tricks that I've learned. They work. Just do little bite-sized and go back to your rage. So start out small and work your way up. This is Vashti coming to you from Vashti's house. I hope you have a great day. Make yourself at home. You can make yourself at home by doing what I just told you. All right. Visit me some more on my other Mom Talks. Talk to you later. Have a great day.